Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just going to make an introduction video for my collection and not so much declutter series that I'm about to start, and I may use this introduction for every single collection and not so much declutter video. Just to kind of have an introduction for all the videos, or I may just jump straight into it. So I have a lot of makeup. And I purchased all this makeup with my own money, with the exception of things that I get, like for instance, in subscription boxes, right? With respect to PR, I do get some occasionally from like influencer and stuff like that, like one or two items, but no, I'm not a makeup channel for the most part. I like to show you guys my collection for my makeup because you like seeing it. I like to show off my like everyday makeup drawer. But I purchased these things with my own money because I want to and because I can. So I have a lot of makeup, and if you don't like that, then I don't think this is necessarily the video for you. And so I kindly just ask that you exit out of the video right now. I'm also prefacing these videos as a collection and not so much declutter because I'm pretty comfortable with my likes. And I'm not just going to declutter for the sake of decluttering. And I like still to clean out my makeup because there are some things that may be expired. But because I'm not an influencer, I'm not going to get rid of things simply because it was limited edition or simply because you can't get it anymore. If I like the product, I'm still going to keep it in my collection and use it. And I will still talk about it in videos because some of you may have it at home, right? And you may not pull that product out to use it or could continue to use it because influencers or beauty or beauty YouTubers don't use it anymore, right? So I feel like that's even more of a reason for me to keep a product if I really like it, even though you can't get your hands on it anymore, because a lot of you guys have these products in your collections already. So I hope y'all enjoy these videos, and let's just go ahead and jump into it, and we are going to do these category by category. So leave a comment down below of a category that you are interested in seeing, and let's just hop into it. Alrighty guys, let's get into this. I have quite a few foundations, and I'm going to go through liquid foundations first, and then I'm going to go into powder foundations, which, to be quite honest, I'm probably not going to get rid of powder foundations because I like almost every single one of the ones that I have, because powder foundations are the ones that I used to use the most because I have oily skin. So I've tried a lot of the formulas out. So the ones that I have in my collection, quote unquote, are the ones that I've used, I've tried, so I know that I like. Liquid foundations, on the other hand, I used to only have like 2 or 3 of them, and I'll talk about those when we come to them. I just decided this year, 2 years, that I wanted to try liquid foundations. So some of these are going because they're not the right shade, because they didn't really go well with my skin type. I have this very weird skin type where I have oily skin, combo skin, very oily in my T-zone, but I have these dry patches a little bit on my forehead and then right on my cheeks, because I do have eczema. I have a little bit of, you know, the eczema little patches that you get, and those come out on my cheeks. And so because of that, I have this weird, I can't use super matte foundations like normal oily people do because they cling on to my dry patches. So foundation for me, powder foundation is typically the way to go. It looks very skin-like. So because of that, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to start on the back and kind of work my way forward. I have a few foundations here down below that don't even fit in this organization. So that's how I know it's time to declutter. So I'm going to start off with the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation, SPF 20. Mine is in the shade LN3. I do have a lighter shade of this as well. Although their shade range was kind of weird, LN3 is the shade that fits me now. This is kind of like, I would describe it more kind of like a BB cream, CC cream type of thing. It has very, very light coverage. So because of that, even if it's not a perfect shade match, I can get away with using either my lighter color or darker color. I think I have like LN1 or something like that. So I'm definitely keeping this. I absolutely love this foundation. This one right here is like one of those make your own foundation bottle things. I bought these off of Amazon. Like you put the foundation in there and it kind of like pumps it up. And this is filled with the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, but because I picked it up at a CCO, I picked up the lightest shade that they had, which is too dark for me. And I think this is in the shade Tawny. This is just really old. So I'm going to empty out this bottle. I have a little bit of it left because I used to mix it with like a lightening type of product. And it was one of my first foundations that I ever tried and used and really liked, but I don't know, like the Double Wear foundation is great, but it really is for like certain occasions. So I'm going to empty this, hang on to the bottle because it is refillable, but empty this out because I want to put, which I'm just going to go ahead and keep. I do have the Double Wear foundation in my actual shade. This is 1N0. It may not suit me right now. Actually, no, I think it actually may suit me right now. I don't really mind if my foundation is just a hair lighter because I can just deepen it up with a little bit of bronzer or with a powder foundation or something like that. The next one is the True Match Lumi. I've tried this once and it was okay. It does oxidize, and unfortunately this color is a little bit on the pinky side, so I'm gonna put this aside as a maybe for now, and we'll see how many foundations I actually keep. I also have the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I've heard that they've reformulated this. This is a little bit too dark for me in the winter time, but I really, really like this in the summertime, and this is in the shade Golden Nude 13, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that foundation. I haven't tried this out yet. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation from Revolution. I don't even know what shade this is in. Let's see if I can find it. F6. So I'm going to set this aside in a pile of foundations that I want to try because I haven't tried them yet. So I'm going to actually put this aside here. This is the Anastasia Luminous Foundation. Mine is in the shade 210N. I like this foundation. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. This is the Lancome I can't pronounce this. The Tinted Ultra Wear Foundation. It does has SPF in it. This darkens a little bit on me. So when I bought this, I originally bought it in a little bit of a darker shade, but it oxidized to a much darker shade. So I ended up having to go back and buy a lighter shade. And this is in the shade 250 Bis. I don't know. This foundation is just okay. It does expire at the end of this year. So I'm going to go ahead and use it until then and then toss it. I'm guessing because it has SPF in it, it is going to expire. So I'm just going to hang on to that one for a little bit longer. I have the Born This Way foundation and I'm in the shade Vanilla. This was actually pretty difficult to find my shade in. I like this foundation. It's okay, but I probably wouldn't repurchase this foundation. I probably wouldn't repurchase this one. I would repurchase another Too Faced foundation, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Let me just reorganize some of my foundations. I like to keep the taller ones kind of in the back and then my shorter ones up in the front here. I have two Maybelline foundations, the Matte and Poreless and the Dewy and Smooth. I have the shade 110 in the Dewy and Smooth one and 102 in the Matte and Poreless. I couldn't really find my perfect shade in either one of these, so I ended up just picking up, this one's a little too light and this one's a little too dark, but I like using these two together. But I'm going to give it one more go together because there's just other foundations that I prefer to these, that I'm going to put these in my to try pile, and that if I don't absolutely love the way this looks. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. It's easier for me, in my opinion, to get rid of like a drugstore foundation because like I paid a lot of money for this Born This Way that I'm just going to use it up. Even if I'm not 100% in love with it, but with a drugstore foundation, I can get rid of it if I am not 100% in love with it. This Huda Beauty one, I honestly have not tried. This is in the shade Angel Food, so I want to go ahead and give this a go. I heard it's really, really good for oily skin, but it was one of those that were on sale on the Sephora website, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I'll put it in my to try pile. I really love this foundation, the Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. It has a little bit of like a sheen to it. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and I think I picked mine up in the shade Light Warm. I really, really like this foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. This, hands down, is one of my favorite foundations. Just unfortunately, you can't find it anymore. This is the Fiona Styles matte finish one. I did not like the luminous finish one. I picked mine up in the shade 02, and I buy mine off of Amazon, and it's pretty much in stock on Amazon, so I haven't had any issues finding that foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. This is the Uma Beauty Say What's Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. It says adjustable coverage. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm going to put it in my pile to try. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, and I like this, but it's a little too deep for me. This is in the shade 22G Light Golden. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. I may end up getting rid of this foundation. I'll put this in the maybe pile. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the maybe pile for now. I really, really love this Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. I have two shades here, LN2 and LG3. I couldn't really find my perfect shade, but I think LG3 is going to fit me right now that I'm a little bit more tan. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in kind of like my backup drawer to pull out in the winter time, because I don't think this is going to really suit me right now that I'm a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and put this foundation away. Let's see. This is the Il Makiage foundation. I don't know. I kept seeing those commercials every time I would binge watch YouTube during the pandemic about this foundation. This just kind of blew up when you couldn't go in store and find your match. They claim to be able to give you the perfect match. I was in the shade 040 Woke Up Like This, but this is honestly, or was honestly, a little too deep for me. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in my to try pile, because when I tried this, I was a lot lighter. And it may actually suit my skin tone right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the to try pile. This foundation here is way too light for me. I picked this up, for some reason I thought I picked up a lighter or a darker shade. I picked up the lightest possible shade that this foundation has. But I'm going to give this to my sister. I'm going to go visit her in Florida in like about a month. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my pile of foundations or products to give away to my sister. My older sister is a lot lighter than I am. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pile to give to my sister. This foundation here is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation, and I actually really like this one. This is in the shade Light 40N, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this foundation. I love this foundation here. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid in the SPF 15, and I'm in the shade N4.5. Absolutely keeping that foundation. I honestly haven't tried this foundation. This is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. I got this when it was on sale on Sephora, because I guess they were getting rid of Cover FX. They're no longer going to be sold at Sephora. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my to try pile, because I haven't tried it. I really like this ColourPop No Filter Foundation. As you can see, I've used up quite a bit of this, and I have mine in the shade Light 60. This Dream Satin Liquid is just too dark for me. I've tried it. I like it, but unfortunately, this is in Classic Ivory. There's no way that this is Classic Ivory. So I'm going to go ahead and give this away. Again, my youngest sister is a lot darker than I am, so I'm going to go ahead and give this to her because I think she would really enjoy that. Oh God, it kind of pains me to say, I have tried to use this foundation so many different ways, and it just doesn't work for me. So this is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. I just can't get this foundation to work for me. It's really weird. Like, because I have oily skin, I have to retouch my makeup. And when you go in and retouch this foundation, it just rubs it right off. So I think this would work really well with someone with like a matte, or not a matte, like a non-oily skin. So I'm gonna give this away to my sister, or maybe sell this on like Mercari or on my Mercari site, because I've only used this 3 times. Try to use it with different primers, try to use it with different setting powders, and it just did not work. But I'm so sad because it's so expensive, but I'm just gonna have to get rid of that one. I have the Milani Cream to Powder Foundation. This was okay. I'm gonna put this in the to test pile again, because I've only honestly used it twice, and I'm not quite sure if I like it. The one time I tried it, I didn't try it with like a primer or anything. I was just trying to see if it was like a quick, good touch and go type of foundation. And I don't think I gave it a fair shot. The second time I tried it, I can't remember. I think I was like putting it on top. I don't remember, but I don't think I gave this foundation a fair shot. So I'm gonna put this in my to try pile. This is the Lumi Cushion Foundation, and this is in the shade N2, which is kind of the perfect shade for me right now. I'm also scaring my dog because I'm dropping stuff. I also have this in the shade N1, and I purchased mine off of Amazon. I'm actually going to keep both shades of this. Yeah, I'm going to keep both shades of this. I really, really like this, this foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and keep both of these. This is the Bare Minerals Powder Foundation, the holiday version of it, and it's in Fairly Light 03. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And this is the Tarte Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation in Light Neutral. I love this stuff. I've only recently, I was originally going to declutter this, but I decided to try using this foundation with my fingers, because it just, I don't know, it just wasn't working with a brush. It wasn't working with a beauty blender. So I just tried using this with my fingers and setting it with the Dermablend setting powder, and it works beautifully. It looks like skin. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this foundation, because honestly I used to hate this foundation, and now it's become one of my favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. All right, the Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. This is okay. I'm going to keep it. I prefer this over the Born This Way foundation, but it oxidizes a little bit, and so I have to buy a shade that's like 2 shades lighter in order for this to work. But I don't know. I'm going to put this in the maybe. It's okay. Like, I don't hate it, so I'm going to keep it. I haven't tried this yet. The Becca Light Shifter Dewing Tint. Like, I feel like it's going to be like a CC cream or a BB cream. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the to try pile. The Juvia's Place foundations. I have 2 shades here because the first shade that I bought was way too light. So I have Bali 720 and Alexandria 650. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep both of these for now because I honestly haven't tried them. So I'm going to go ahead and give these 2 a whirl, and I'm going to try to put that foundation in with a moisturizer. I've heard that they're very, very full coverage, and I don't know if they're going to work well with my like dry spots. I heard that it can cling on to kind of dry spots. This foundation here, the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation and concealer stick, I'm going to throw this in my purse. I really, really like this foundation to touch up, especially around my glasses. but I don't like it as just like a normal foundation, but I do like it to touch up underneath my glasses. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this in my purse. The It Cosmetics CC Plus Cream. This was my first foundation, not this exact one. I've gone through like 2 bottles of this, but this was my first foundation ever, and it's still my hands down my favorite foundation over all of these. I could get rid of all of these and just be happy with the CC cream. I really, really like this. I do set it with a powder foundation, and it's just great. I love it. I'll take that to the beach. I absolutely love that foundation. This foundation, I'm so sad. So I think I bought the lightest shade there is in this, 01 Nude. This is the Lancome Skin Feels So Good foundation, and it's just very, very dark. I don't know, it may work now that I have a little bit of a tan. So let me put this in my to try pile, guys. I have a lot of to try foundations because it literally just exploded my foundation collection. It kind of just exploded overnight. I used to just have perfumes here, like a few foundations here, and all my powder foundations fit up in the front, and now like all my powder foundations have to go in a drawer. Like, it's kind of crazy. The Revlon Candid foundation, I honestly haven't tried this one. I don't think I have. I think it'll be a nice shade match for me. Let me go ahead and put this again in my to trial pile. So I'll have to like update you guys on the foundations to see like how well they applied. The Dream Urban Cover Maybelline one. This is in 120 Classic Ivory, and I think this is a little too dark for me. I don't know. What is it about Maybelline foundations? I think it's just too dark for me. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I don't know. I don't know what it is about these like Maybelline foundations. They're just too freaking dark for me. The CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I haven't tried this. I don't think I've tried this. It looks like it'll be a nice foundation, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in my to try pile. All right, these two. The Hourglass Stick Foundations. I have 2 of them. Both of them I believe are in the shade Natural. One is completely untouched, so I'm going to see if I can maybe sell this one on Mercari. This one I have used, but I'm going to go ahead and pass this to my sister because I just didn't like it. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried to make this foundation work, and it just didn't work. I don't know why. This is the Pure Foundation Stick in the shade Light, which honestly I feel like it's a little bit darker than the shade Light. I just didn't like this one. I don't even like it enough to keep it as like a touch-up foundation stick, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. And then I have these 2 here that I recently bought from a CCO. These are the Studio Fix Soft Matte Foundation Sticks. I haven't tried these yet. So I have NW15 and NW13 because I first picked up 15 and I thought it's too dark. And then I think NW13 will be the perfect shade for me. So I'm going to have to give these a whirl, see how I like them. But for right now, they're just kind of sitting right here. But I'm going to put them in my to test pile. Okay. I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation. This is brand new. So I'm putting it in my to test pile. I have the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation in the shade Almonds. I just picked this up at a CCO. I'm also going to put this in my to test pile. I have the Clinique Even Better Makeup Foundation. I love this foundation. I've purchased it before. I know that I really, really like it. So it can now actually fit up here. I have the Face and Body Foundation from MAC. I really, really love this foundation. This is in the shade like C1 or something like that. So I'm keeping that. I have the True Match foundation from L'Oreal. I really, really like this foundation, so I'm keeping that. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea in my to try pile. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Milani one. I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't really intrigue me. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to powder foundations. I'll just show you the ones that I currently have because, like I said, I don't think I'm going to get rid of any of them. So hang tight 1 second. Okay, so these are my powder foundations. I have a few here on the side. I have this Mary Kay Sheer Mineral Pressed Powder, which is technically like a powder foundation. As you can see, I'm almost done with this, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. I have the Too Faced Cocoa, ooh, this is my bronzer. I knew I had some foundations somewhere else. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. I just found it. This is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I really, really love this. It's a newer product in my collection, but honestly, I have used this probably like for 2 weeks straight now. I really, really like this, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. This is the Too Faced Cocoa Powder Foundation in the shade Light Medium. I really like this foundation. I'm definitely keeping it. Here is the Stay Matte Powder, which I keep with my foundations because I use it every single time I apply a foundation. The Urban Decay foundation is okay, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Honestly, if I were to get rid of anything in this drawer, it would be this Infallible foundation. People raved about this, and I honestly didn't like it. But I've only tried it as a powder, like to set a liquid foundation. So I'm going to try it on its own and see how I like it. The MAC Studio foundation is beautiful. The Fenty foundation is beautiful. I love this Laura Geller foundation. This is like a discontinued product. It's the Balance and Brighten foundation. Every time I'm at like a CCO or something and I see this in the shade Fair or even Light, Fair is a little bit better for me because it has a little bit of a pinky undertone to it. So if I have Light, my face looks way too pinky. I love this foundation though. This is the Bye Bye foundation powder in the shade Light. I haven't tried this. I have tried the other It Cosmetics foundations, the Celebration and the Illumination one. And I really, really like those. So I figured I would like this, but I haven't tried this yet. The Pure foundation, it says it's a pressed powder, but it also says it's a foundation. I don't know. I like this. It's okay though. It's okay. It's not my favorite foundation. And then the Bare Minerals foundation, this is in the shade Golden Fair. The one that I have that's like the limited edition one is a little bit darker than this shade. So this is kind of like my, I don't know, winter shade, but I still really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. Let's see if I can fit everything back how I originally had it. Yeah. All right. So that is my powder foundation drawer. All right, so these are all the foundations that I am getting rid of. These here are all the foundations that I'm going to be testing. So I will try to leave you guys an update on which of the foundations I ended up testing and liking or getting rid of. But for now, I guess I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.